I present to you the greatest developer in the galaxy, Mike Stout.
Hi, Teal.
Hi. He's
How's
back. Yeah, it's going good. How are you?
To help you comment on another game I didn't work on.
Yeah, I know. It's a privilege, I'm sure. Well, you could
And
pretend you worked on it.
I actually didn't even finish this one.
Yeah, you said. It was something to do with the upgrade system, because you're all about the Raritanium collection.
Yeah, man, I love that system, and this game didn't have it, and it was sad.
You must have just jumped for joy when you saw it in Nexus.
Oh, I was so happy.
To be fair, Nexus is amazing.
And then when they used it in PS4, I was happy too.
Yeah, oh, yeah, the PS4 version. It's interesting, because there's so much I like about that game, and also just so many things I'm like, oh, I wish you just included that from the original, or more faithful. Especially since, you know, the Insane Trilogy for Crash has been all about making it as faithful as humanly possible, which is interesting. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next with Ratchet, assuming they do, obviously, return to Ratchet, because Spider-Man's a thing.
I think a faithful reproduction was never what they were going for.
Yeah, no, of course, because it was to time with the movie. But it'd be interesting to see.
I think most of us felt more attached to 2 and 3 than we did to the first one, because by the time we finished Ratchet 1, there were all these things we wished we'd done that we then did in 2 and 3.
Yeah,
So,
I see what you mean.
2 and 3 felt more like the game we wanted 1 to be in the first place.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's interesting you say that, though, because whilst I agree with you, there's something about the first game that I just really love over the others, and I can't really pinpoint what it is. Might be nostalgia, being the first Ratchet.
You're not the only one. Lots of people like the first game.
Yeah, the first game just has a real charm, but really just so fun. Absolutely love that game.
And the speedrunning community seems to like running the first game the most.
Oh, it's like, I mean, they're all quite broken in their own way, but like it's just fun to traverse around from what I've seen.
Yeah, there's lots of cool movement cheats.
Yeah, and you've been helping them out with that, haven't you?
I don't know how much I've actually helped them, but they've had a lot of questions, and so I've been asking them, like, how does this thing work? And so I've been talking to them about like the tech behind how it works.
Did you see Zem's video about the Ratchet 2 soft locking whilst his weapon and nanotech upgraded at the same time?
No, what was that?
Well, basically on one of the planets of Ratchet 2, his weapon upgraded the very frame for his nanotech upgraded, and it crashed the game.
Whoa!
And in the description it says, "Yeah, I don't know how, but Mike Stout is definitely responsible." Which I just found amusing. It's like, I know that guy.
When he did his trifecta run recently, that was one of the jokes in the commentary was, "Mike, what did you do?" And I just kept saying, "Nope, that's not my bug."
Yeah. Blame anyone else. Literally anyone else. Definitely not me. Blame Tony. He did this Snow Beast. Gotta be him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Always Tony's fault.
Yeah. Though, to his credit, again, didn't he have like 2 days to do that level?
3 days, yeah.
3, yeah. Close enough. Yeah, I can't even imagine how difficult that would be.
Well, to give you an idea, just designing the level, right, we got 5 weeks for.
Jesus.
That was to do the design on paper.
Oh, right? Boy.
Then the programmers usually got another 5 weeks to get it, like, basically set up. Yeah. And then the designers would go in and have a few more weeks to sort of tweak it and clean it up, right? And that level in total for programming and the final stuff was 3 days. Right?
It's amazing that the game wasn't delayed, to be honest.
Yeah, well, what happened was the person who was working on it ended up leaving the company.
Right, I see.
And so and it was only partially done when that person left the company. So it was just this huge, and it wasn't any good. The part that was done wasn't any good. So they basically went to Tony and they're like, "Hey Tony, this isn't your level, but we need it fixed in 3 days because we got a user test. Can you do that?" And so he did.
and a fine job with what it was. And to be fair, it's not even a bad level.
No,
Like,
it's not.
it's just really difficult if you don't know what you're doing.
The main issue, I think, is that the Yetis they feel cheap. Like, I think if they felt fair, I don't think people would mind as much, you know? Like,
yeah, I see what you mean.
if we put like another 3/4 of a second between when they rear back and when they actually attack you, and then maybe like another 1/4 of a second afterwards, I don't think they would have.
And maybe limit the amount of them, because there's a lot all the time.
Maybe.
They also take ages to kill, but yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe lower the hit points a little bit, but I mean, because they were basically the swarmers of that level.
Yeah.
Except took 1 billion hits and their attacks were super fast, and yeah.
And then there's the sea monsters that just don't die to the wrench. That was pretty good.
Right, of course. And whose sounds didn't work for some reason when we were playing it.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, I don't know how I triggered it. I don't know if it's something that Zem has talked about in the past, but it wasn't in my wrench-only run, but in a previous playthrough, I made Ratchet go invisible, and he was completely avoiding any damage whilst in that state.
Was it just like the wrench and the helmet floating there? Or
yeah, Clank and the helmet, pretty much. I think, and whatever gun I was using. I think I was using a gun at the time. But yeah, he was completely invisible, and I have no idea what actually caused it. I can't think of what I did at the time to trigger that, or specifically what, like, what would have. I don't know. But I don't know if it's anything anyone else has mentioned before, because
I've seen that sort of thing happen. Like not on a retail version of the game, but you know, like while I was working on it, I saw bugs like that. You know, or bugs where Ratchet would be inside out. Those were really
that's terrifying.
Oh yeah, because his skeleton would get corrupted, and so like imagine if you took his elbows and then like pulled them 3 meters up into the air. And his legs, like, you know, 2 meters out in front of him. So he looked like this weird spider Ratchet, and like his head didn't look right. And yeah.
I don't know if I'm intrigued or terrified. Maybe both. I kind of want to see that. I mean, I've never seen that, but I've seen... I mean, we looked at the inside of Ratchet's head through the beta, but I also got that to happen on Nexus when speedrunning. Like, you can get stuck on a bit of wall, and the camera just sort of goes straight into his head. It's like, ooh, that's not nice.
Yeah, it's never fun to see the inside of the head, because there's nothing in it, just the you know,
horrible void in the eyes.
It's just like a creepy Halloween mask from the inside.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I'm out of my depth with speedrunning that game now, because I used to speedrun it back when it first came out.
Which one?
Nexus.
Okay.
And I used to be quite good at it, but then people discovered how to clip through walls with the weapon where it's the... I can't remember what it's called. It's the thing where the monster comes out of the Jack-in-the-Box.
Oh, okay.
But you can use that basically as it pops out, it pushes you in, so you can use... Huh?
Was it a nightmare box or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. But it pushes you into walls if you do it right. I could never get the timing down, so I was pretty much... It was pointless. Like, I think I spent 3 hours trying to practice it, and I got it to work twice. So... Like,
you could still do the glitchless category,
yes,
right?
I mean, I do have a glitchless PB. But I don't think anyone really does glitchless anymore. And I don't think there's like a specific definition of glitchless. Because I mean, in my run, even though it was glitchless, I was still phasing through walls just because I was going faster than the game could actually process the walls. So I don't know if that technically counts as a glitch or not.
I guess it would be. But
yeah, just stuff like that. But
I would count it as a glitch. People should just ask me. They should be like, Mike, what does glitchless mean? Can I do this? No. Can I do that? No.
Did you see the GGQ, any of the GGQ speedruns?
Yeah, I saw some of them. Did
you see the Mirror's Edge one? Because it was really funny. It was a glitchless run. And for the entire run, he was just saying what he was doing, as you do. And the guy on the couch was just like, That sounds very much like a glitch. It's like, no, it's definitely not. It's just like, so this time we're just phasing through a wall. Like, sure it's not a glitch? Like, no, it's not a glitch. I didn't know if they were actually friends or not, but it was just, it just mocked him and roasted him for about half an hour, and it was amazing. But like, at one point he just said, so it's not glitchless, it's glitchless. I was like, I mean, you make a point. Like, you're not wrong. So it was funny. It's worth watching just to see him roast him for the entire thing. It's pretty amusing. But
people always ask me if we intended for the crazy movement things in Ratchet to exist, and I always have to tell them no. If we'd known about it, we would have had to fix them.
Yeah.
So, like, there wouldn't have been any, like, something that lets you get through walls or around the critical path. Like, Sony doesn't let you ship a game if that stuff is in the game.
Mm. Yeah, that's
they call them A-bugs. And you gotta fix A-bugs.
Oh, that's a shame, because I mean, there's no confirmation or word. There's just loads of rumors and stuff speculating that there's like going to be a Spyro trilogy, HD trilogy as well. I mean, there's always rumors for that kind of thing, but there's like definitely a couple things where you're like, yeah, that is suspicious. That's it's gotta be. Come on, please make it happen. If it does happen,
it's time for it, right? With Ratchet coming out with a new one, like the PS4 one, and Crash coming out with a new one. Like, Spyro would be lonely if he didn't come out.
Yeah, I mean, Vicarious Visions have already like acknowledged that they know that people want it. I'm sure Sony know as well, just as much. But
Sony doesn't have anything to do with it.
Well, yes, they presumably commission it.
Well, they don't have any of the rights to Spyro, so.
Oh, that's true. It's Activision. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, Activision then. Sorry.
Entirely Activision.
Sorry, Activision would. You're absolutely right. Activision then. But.
They just have a developer free who is good at platformers who could do.
Yeah, if only, I don't know, Vicarious Visions had just finished a game that they would be good at. But yeah, no, if it does happen, I would like to interview them and just ask them questions, and make an actual video about it, not just be like, oh, for my own personal amusement. But my sole request will be to somehow have the double jump from the original Spyro 2 in the game, because it was basically like it basically broke the game. So in the Spyro 2, if you charge at the top of your jump, it's not a double jump per se, but it gives you a little bit of height on your jump, and you can basically use it to get out of bounds and stuff, and it's just really fun. It makes the game really interesting because there's two different ways to play.
Remember, they can't ship the game if you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you saying that is destroyed my hope for that ever happening. So
I'm glad I could destroy your hopes. That's always what I try to do.
That's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate knowing now, to be fair, but it's never gonna happen.
Not getting it. Yeah, that's probably bad.
I'd still ask them and pray anyway. Yeah, no, it's just a really interesting glitch. And they actually fixed it for Spyro 3. Because
maybe that's some new interesting glitch for you.
Well, maybe. But Spyro 3, instead of it like arcing up when you charged, it always arcs down regardless of your height. So that's how they fixed that. And it's a really fun glitch, because the way you play is vastly different, and I would like it to exist, but I see that would not be possible.
Yeah, that would not be possible.
Yeah. Oh well.
The game would not ship.
Yeah. Oh well. We'll see. I still hope that it happens though, because it's the Crash series. The Crash Insane trilogy was fantastic.
Yeah, it got good reviews.
It did. It did get very good reviews, and deservedly so. It was really good.
And all the reviews I saw that didn't like it just didn't like the original games. So
yeah, or they were just really bad at platformers.
Yeah.
There were some people who were just truly awful at them, and they were like, "Yeah, it's too hard." Like, no, not really. It was as hard as the originals were, and it wasn't like impossibly difficult to begin with. So, whatever.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of things those games did that games wouldn't do anymore.
Oh, there's something on this planet. Yeah, I don't know. It just they did fix a lot of things here and there. Like they definitely tweaked things to make it easier, and they also necessarily didn't make certain things easier. The motorbike levels were not better, but yeah, it was I don't know. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
That's the tightrope act you got to walk when you do a remake. Or, you know, when you're trying to be faithful to the old game.
Yeah, that's true.
How much stuff do you fix and how much stuff do you not fix?
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's probably, I mean, just like I was saying with Ratchet 1, if I were to be in charge of remaking that game, there's a lot of stuff I'd want to change. Just because I wasn't satisfied with it when we first shipped it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm
surprised that it didn't have an arena.
Ratchet 3, I'm not sure what we would change.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd want them to remake 2 or 3, just because they're just really good. I don't know. I don't want it to be changed and just tampered with. I want to keep the originals. By all means, release them for PS4 or something, because I want to play it on PS4. And that's the one thing, like, the PS4 is lacking. It is lacking a backwards compatibility, because it's just the ultimate console in my eyes. I love it. It's so good to use. Too. It just needs PS1, PS2, PS3.
Unless it's software update day, then it's kind of a pain in the butt.
Oh, does it take ages for you to download and stuff?
Well, because, you know, I sign on to my PlayStation, I'm excited, I'm going to play my game, and then it's like, oh, you don't get to play your game, sorry.
Yeah, that's true. Although, to be fair, you don't have to do a software update to play games. You can just leave it for later, which is nice.
Do the achievements still work?
I believe so, yeah. I think the only thing you can't do is go online.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, yeah, you can do pretty much everything. Which is what I really like. The Xbox, it might do now. Back when it first came out, it didn't do that, because it was back before I had decent internet, and it was really fun what they did. They made it a habit of basically, so if you start installing or downloading like an update to a game, then it would start, and say it's like 4 gig, it would take me like 3 hours. If it crashed or like my internet died for PlayStation, it would resume exactly where it left off.
Right.
With Xbox, if it stopped at any point, it had to go back to the start and just nothing installed. And it wasn't even with Sony games on PS4. You don't have to update the game. Again, I think it's you can't go online, but or you can't do online features. So if it's something like Overwatch, obviously you can't play. But if it's just a standard game like Crash or whatever, you can play it. You don't have to update the game. But with Xbox, you have to update the game. So it's just like, why? I want to play the game. Please let me play the game.